Hello and welcome to Real Economy. Digital technologies have never been more important in our lives, from remote working to online medical consultations to video calls with family and friends. But the pandemic has also shown where Europe is lagging behind. Almost a quarter of homes still have no broadband, and fewer than 20% of small businesses use the internet to sell their products or services. Later in the show, Guillaume Desjardins visits a century-old Danish manufacturer to find out how it made the switch to digital. But first, here's your crash course on how EU recovery funds are helping Europe's digital transformation.
The transition to a digital world is a key element in the EU's pandemic recovery plan. At the heart of the plan is the Recovery and Resilience Facility, worth €672.5 billion, to be spent on public investments and reforms. To access the money, Member States have submitted national recovery plans, earmarking 20% of the money on initiatives to digitise their economies. Digital technology is changing the way we live and work, but there's a gap between the digital haves and have-nots. 42% of Europeans don't have basic digital skills, and 83% of SMEs don't use internet cloud services. To make sure everyone benefits, the EU wants to see investment in ultra-fast broadband, training people in digital skills, helping startups and small businesses innovate and grow, and using technology to become climate neutral.
Nordic countries and the Netherlands are leading the way when it comes to going digital. But even there, projects are hoping for recovery fund money to help their digital transition. Guillaume Desjardins headed to Denmark.
Here in Denmark, there's no need to leave the house with your driver's license in your pocket. You can simply download it straight to your smartphone. That's just one example from this already ultra-connected country. According to the UN, Denmark is the world champion when it comes to e-government. And now all sectors of the economy are jumping on board the digital transition.
Just like this factory based in Jutland. Founded by a blacksmith in 1895, the company went from building carriages to truck trailers throughout the 20th century. 4 years ago, Peter Jensby launched a complete overhaul of the company to go fully digital.
We have spent €2 million to change the company completely. This transformation has meant a world of change to this workplace. We now have a company that is profitable, and it was losing a lot of money in the old days. This means that we are becoming more productive and are able to have a market price on our products, so we're not too expensive, even though we have very high salaries in Scandinavia.
More companies are expected to go digital in the coming months. Denmark has requested €1.6 billion of subsidies from the European Recovery Plan and will be required to dedicate 1/5 of this amount to the digital transition. The funding is also of interest to those already in the digital sector, but hoping to expand.
Hi, this is
Sarah Josephine Hjort created an AI-based software to help teachers and HR managers create online learning programs. The company has quadrupled its staff this year, but is having issues finding private investors to keep growing.
In order to grow at the rocket speed we're growing at, we need both more investments and highly skilled staff here in Europe. In terms of investment, it can be tricky to attract regular investors for very high-risk features and the forefront of innovation. So we try to combine private investors with support from the EU.
The EU's Recovery Fund will see €134.5 billion dedicated to digitisation. But will it be enough to make Europe a global leader? This Danish expert thinks so.
We are definitely a candidate to compete with some of the other giants globally because we do have the infrastructure, we have the skills. So I think it's a matter of investments in small and mid-sized companies, actually really to create jobs and to grow the businesses.
To talk more about how the EU's Recovery and Resilience Facility money can be used to create those jobs and businesses, I'm going to be speaking to the EU Commissioner for Economy, Paolo Gentiloni. Commissioner, thank you very much for joining us on Real Economy.
Pleasure.
The aim of the Recovery and Resilience Facility is to get economies back on track after the pandemic. Why the insistence on digital? How does that help the recovery?
Because I think the aim is, and this is what we are telling from both sides of the Atlantic, to build back better. Digital is concerning all sectors of our economy. So you can improve through digital how the public administration work, how the healthcare system work, how companies are competitive and working, etc., etc. And this is the strength of the investment on the digital, that they can have an impact on all our economy.
The Danish online learning platform that we saw in Guillaume's report, is this the type of company that you want to see the recovery funds go towards?
Yes, because of course we need success story. It's not only the world of giants, it is also a world of startup, mid-sized companies that have their role in this new digital world. So I think this dimension to increase the capacity of our business in the digital will be very important in the next 5 years.
The pandemic has certainly put the spotlight on what digital technologies can offer us, but also those who risk being left behind.
Yes, the good part is that we saw also how strong is the network. And we saw in this terrible crisis how connectivity is important. At the same time, we experienced, for example, in learning from home for children and young people, how connectivity problems create social differences. And this is, of course, unacceptable. So we have to seize the opportunity to reduce and cancel the digital divide. It's now or never.
We're a year on from the start of the pandemic. This money's needed now. There are concerns about how long it's going to take for the Commission to approve these plans.
And I'm quite optimistic on the fact that the plan will become to have financing already before the summer pause.
Commissioner, many thanks for your time and for being with us on Realeconomy.
Thank you, it was a pleasure.